Hi, hello. I am Erica Bisara from HM1B, and I am going to share to you the things that I have learned from the lives and works of Rizal.
Jose Protasio Rizal Mercado y Alonso Yolanda was born in the town of Calamba in the province of Laguna on June 19, 1861 to Francisco Mercado and Teodora Alonso. He was the youngest of 10 siblings with 9 sisters and 1 brother. The future political leader had already grasped the English letters at the age of 3. Jose was able to read and write by the age of 5. In 1887, Rizal published his first novel, No Limitang Ire, a passionate exposure of the evils of Spanish rule in the Philippines. Dr. Jose Rizal, the Philippines' national hero, is recognized not only for his intellectual genius, but also for standing up to the Spanish colonial government and defying it. Rizal will be remembered for his compassion towards the Filipino people and the country, even though his death prompted a movement to topple the government.
So, we are all aware that the life and works of Rizal really provide us motivation and inspiration. And as you begin to study the life and works of Rizal, you would know how brave he was, how proud he was to be a Filipino, and how he shows his love to his fellow countrymen. So, I have here 4 favorite works of Rizal, which is The Young Woman of Malolos, To the Filipino Youth, The Flowers of Heidelberg, and The Indolence of the Filipino. So I am very excited to share to you what I have learned about these letters and stories. So let's go.
So the first one is The Young Woman of Malolos. Letter of Rizal to the Young Woman of Malolos describes how the Spaniards treat men and women differently. The Spaniards' treatment of Filipinos is inhumane, with the Spaniards enslaving Filipinos due to ignorance, fraud, religious belief brought by the friars. The rule of mothers in the family, tyranny of some due to cowardice and negligence on the part of others, unreligious acts of the friars toward Filipinos, education not provided to other Filipinos by the Spaniard, and finally, abuse of the Spaniards due to the hospitality of the Filipinos. The fighting spirit displayed by the young woman of Malolos inspired Jose Rizal considerably. He expresses immense excitement and satisfaction over the battle they had fought in his message. This section of Rizal's letter, it is clear that his ultimate goal was for women to have the same educational possibilities as males. Young girls were not sent to school back then because it was widely assumed that they would soon be married and stay at the home with the children. Rizal, on the other hand, highlights the importance of freedom of thought and the right to educate for both boys and girls. Next is to the Filipino youth. In my own understanding, based on Rizal's poem To the Filipino Youth, what Rizal is trying to convey to us is that the Filipino youth will usher in a brighter future for all Filipinos by telling them to hold their heads high because they possess talents, skills, and abilities that would make their country proud by breaking the silence. He truly believes that the Filipino youth has its own potential that can be shared or demonstrated to everyone. He also believes that the youth may truly be the hope of the future. Rizal was a strong believer in his country and nationalism, and he encouraged the Filipino youth to develop their skills and use them to aid those in need. Dr. Rizal also exhorted the youth in this poem to refine and cultivate their artistic talents, revitalize and reinforce their scientific knowledge, and to look forward and connect their chain of events. Rizal lauded the coming generation in the poem. Rizal's initial testimonial and exposition of his nationalism may be found in this poem. Rizal explicitly referred to the Philippines as his home or motherland in his literary work, and he saw youth as crucial to nation building. Therefore, this is how I interpret Rizal's poem. It must be a powerful motivator for every young person, especially those who lack the confidence to speak up while having a wealth of experience, talent, and skills. This poetry will help to raise every young person's confidence. Third, The Flowers of Heidelberg. This poem expresses both his affection for Heidelberg and his profound love for and longing for his homeland. When he wrote home, he enclosed a flower expressing in his letters, and according to his poem, he kissed each pressing and sent his love with it. He claims, however, that the flower's freshness and fragrance would be lost because it has been removed from its natural habitat. He's done the same, and he believes that in order to be truly alive, he must be in his own nation. On April 24, 1886, while in Germany, Jose Rizal composed to the flowers of Heidelberg, expressing his desire for his family and homeland. This poem accurately depicts the emotion of homesickness and desires experienced by folks whose work or education take them across oceans and time zones. Those of us who now live and work in foreign nations find our minds and hearts going back to the familiar and comfortable odors and scenes of home during the occasional calm moments offered by small interruptions in the morning frenetic rush of activity. Lastly is the indolence of the Filipinos. The indolence of the Filipinos is a study of the reasons why during the Spanish government the people did not, as was said, labor hard. Rizal stated that the Filipinos were industrious and hardworking even before the arrival of the Spaniards. Because of a number of factors, the Spanish monarchy resulted in a drop in economic activity. Another factor that has contributed to this apathy is the lack of togetherness among the Filipino people. The people lack the capacity to confront the governments and other forces of society's hostile attacks in the absence of unity and oneness. This would also be no voice, no leader to plant and cultivate progress so that it could be reaped when the time came. In such a state, the Philippines remained a lifeless, dead, simply existing and not living country. A man in the Philippines is an individual. He is not only a citizen of a country, Rizal concluded. So that are the things that I have learned from the life and works of Rizal, and I hope you're enjoying watching the video. Thank you, everyone.